Hello, and welcome, and thank you. Thank you for joining us on In the Library with,
Tara.
and our special guests today.
Jen Saul.
Liz Hartig.
And what is it that you two are here to speak with us today about?
So we are the co-chairs of One Book, One Community, and we wanted to tell you about the month of programming we have coming up in March.
So what is this year's book?
Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yes, certainly. So it is a story about a woman named Tova who works in the evenings cleaning an aquarium, and she befriends the octopus in the aquarium. And the octopus, Marcellus, he's a great Pacific octopus. He thinks in the book. He doesn't speak, but you'll hear his thoughts and his perceptions of what's going on around him. And there's some family mystery, and it's just a great book that really involves some science, some family dynamics, and it's really, really fun.
I have a feeling that if I read this book, I'm going to have an issue, and I'm going to want a pet octopus. And I already want a pet teacup pig, so I don't know if I can just have all these creatures in my house and in my life.
So you can't really have a pet octopus.
See, that's the problem.
But
It's sad.
you can go pet an octopus at the Toledo Zoo.
You
They do
can?
have a behind-the-scenes thing. So maybe we need to set up a date for that, Tara, me and you.
Yes, please. I think we should do a whole work trip. Everyone from the library will go pet the octopus.
It does cost a pretty penny, but we'll talk about that.
I can shine up some pennies.
Okay.
So I am curious. So every year there's a new book. What is the process that goes into picking the book, and who gets to do that?
So the One Book, One Community Committee, we start meeting usually like May, June to pick the book for the next year. We all bring in suggestions of books that we think we would work, like they have broad appeal, they have a lot of topics and programming we could use, and they're also obviously very well written and critically received. So then we make a list from there, and we have an Excel spreadsheet, and everyone reads all of those books and writes down all of their comments and gives the book rating. And then we meet every month to discuss and narrow down that list until we get to just one.
So you basically have a book club, and you pick the book for everyone.
A very, very intense book club.
I like it.
I think we read like 20 to 30 books last summer to get it narrowed down to one. So we're
And
reading
what time frame?
usually within 3 months.
Yes,
A lot.
it is a lot.
That makes a lot of sense, though, because I've seen you in the back room. You're doing audiobooks, and they're at like 10 times the speed. It sounds like gibberish to me, and I don't know how you
Yes,
listen to that.
especially with the One Book, One Community books. When I am listening to them and I'm not 100% sold on them, I turn up the speed so I will listen at 2.5 speed so that I can get through all 30 books in like 2 to 3 months.
See, I'm a slow reader. I need it at like half pace. I'd never be able to get through that.
Is there any way that people can make recommendations for books to be screened?
Ooh.
So if you did have a book that you thought had a wide appeal and would be a good One Book, One Community pick,
Verity?
I was gonna say Cat in a Hat.
you're being sarcastic on that. I know it. We do have a Facebook page, One Book, One Community of Monroe, Michigan. You could always leave me a comment on there, and I could add it to our consideration list.
And our committee is a collaborative committee across different organizations and open to the general public. So we would love for you to join our committee if you would like. We have representatives from the Monroe County Library System, Monroe County Community College, and the Monroe County Museum System. And it's a joint venture, and so we like to collaborate, and we would love anyone to join, and anyone is welcome to join.
Nice.
How long has One Book, One Community been organized?
This is our 19th year. It has not always been called One Book, One Community. It was called The Big Read at first, but this is the 19th year. So
Next year's 20.
Next year's a big anniversary.
Now, last year was Firekeeper's Daughter, but that wasn't your guys' pick, right? Wasn't that across like the entire state or the whole country?
So there is a Great Michigan Read, which
Okay.
picks a big book every other year as opposed to every year. So sometimes we pick their book every other year. Not always, but because then the artist is usually touring around the state and we're more likely to get them here and we can get free books to hand out. This is not a Great Michigan Read year, so we did on our
We
own.
did go through that process, and we did select that book.
Yes.
So we still went through that process, but there's a lot of great benefits to selecting the Great Michigan Read.
Yeah.
And many different communities are doing the same kind of program across Michigan, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, but we never automatically
Right.
pick it. It just goes into contention
Yep.
with our other options.
All right.
The name change from the Big Read to One Book, One Community. Is that because the dryer setting was too high? Just
The Big Read was a program through the American Library Association, and we received funding to start the Big Read, and then once that program stopped, it then morphed into One Book, One Community. So the program's continuing on. It continued on after the Big Read national program stopped happening, and it's been a really fun way to engage the community.
Yeah, we just no longer get that specific ALA funding, which is why we are entirely on donations now.
And we would love your donations.
You can actually go to our website and find a way to donate there. Or you could donate at any of our programs you may attend next month.
So say the donations go to the programs that get put on to
Yes.
support the book.
Yes, so all of our programs are funded through donations, through our Friends of One Book, One Community. And, we invite the author, and so that is the vast majority of what we seek donations for. And we put on all of the programs free and open to the public.
now, this just came to my mind. It's One Book, One Community. That's not a single book that has to be shared by the entire community. You can
Ooh.
have multiple copies of the same book.
Yes. Ideally, people are all reading, their own copy or a library copy, which passes around. But it's not one book being passed around because obviously it would take, a million years for everyone in one community to share one book. However, I would like to point out, if you wanted to borrow a library book, the Monroe County Library System does have copies. There is a bit of a wait list. There is also copies on the Libby app, which again has a wait list. But on the Hoopla app, it is available ebook and e-audio with no wait.
Ooh, is that just because
Just because Hoopla purchased it, and there are no waits with Hoopla.
I like it. All right, I got a big question. So out of all the years you've been selecting the books or just participating, what has been your favorite book that has been the book of the year?
So I am partial to this one because I actually nominated it 2 years ago. It just took me 2 years to convince everybody on the committee that I was right and they were wrong, obviously.
I've also only been involved for 2 years, so I've loved both of the selections. I think what's really fun is thinking about the programming opportunities. So there's always amazing books, but thinking about how we can connect kids with senior citizens and different people in different fields and different areas of the county. I think that's what kind of brings the book to the top. And, with our book this year, there are so many great connections with programs. So I think it's just going to be really fun.
You have a lot of programs going on. I'm excited for them all.
How does one join the One Book, One Community committee? Do we have to depose one of you, or
You could just email me or Liz. So Liz has a email address through the college. Do you want to share that real quick?
Sure, you can email me at ehartig, Hartig, at monroeccc.edu. It's also listed on the directory at monroeccc.edu website, and I'd be happy to add you to our committee.
Or you could email me. It's jennifer.saul@monroe.lib.mi.us.
I do have to say it's a little bit dull for this time and age. I was hoping for a good joust. See, only one person, whoever makes it, gets to
We
be
have
on
a
it.
really large committee, so it's great to have lots of different people involved. And it makes it easier to have, over 30 programs in 1 month. Because there's no way two of us could do that.
That's very true. Because the programs don't just take place at the library. They take place at all different facilities in the county, correct?
Yes, we have different library branches across the county. We have some at the college. We have a virtual event. We also have the International Wildlife Refuge Tour. So we have things all over. The Monroe County Museum as well. So we're covering the whole county, and we're hoping to cover, all different types of people as well, different events.
I want to double back for a moment. People can nominate books through your Facebook. Does it have to be a published book?
Yes.
Okay.
Has to be a published book, preferably with good reviews from reliable people.
What were you about to recommend?
I've got a scrapbook of ramblings that I thought I might nominate, but it looks like I'll have to find a publisher.
Yes.
Has to be available for
Yes.
people to read.
It has to be widely available. So we want it generally available in print, ebook, and e-audio if possible. The more formats, the more likely we are to consider it. If it's only available through a self-publisher or it's only available in print, it probably won't make it past our first day of meetings.
But you could get it published. Then you could join Monroe County Library's Writers on the River, sell some copies, get some good reviews, become a national success, and then you could. So there's stepping stones. You can get there.
And maybe there's a book about scrapbooking, and you could host an event and be one of our committee members and host an event about your scrapbook.
I would like to point out Adrian's not allowed to be one of our committee members as his boss. I have rejected that notion. He cannot be away for the committee while I am. So sorry about your luck.
I like the fact
Plus, I
that-
don't trust him.
I like the fact that I was rejected before I even said anything about wanting to join.
You feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Slightly tangential, if I can speak. Why are they called remarkably bright creatures when they tend to live in the darkness?
Remarkably bright creatures actually does not necessarily apply to the octopus. The octopus says that about humans, that we are remarkably bright creatures, because the octopus kind of assumes it's smarter than us and it's impressed by us at times.
The octopus is smarter than us.
Frequently, yes.
See, I thought it was the octopus because they are incredibly intelligent and can get themselves out of their
Yes.
cages whenever they want.
Yes, octopuses are great escape artists, which actually ties into a few of our programs. So we have 2 days where we're doing an escape the aquarium to see if you are smart enough to escape like an octopus is. There's going to be one date at the Bedford Library, which is on Saturday, March 8th, and one date at the Frenchtown Library, which is Saturday, March 15th. The program runs the whole time we're open during the day, but you have to register online for your specific time slot. Also related to octopuses being intelligent, we have 2 days we're doing jigsaw puzzle competitions to see how quickly you can assemble a puzzle. That'll be Sunday, March 23rd at the Bedford Library at 1:30 p.m. and Thursday, March 27th at the Frenchtown Branch Library at 5 p.m. You can have teams of up to 4 people. Again, please register online. And if you cannot find a friend, you can just email the librarian in charge if you go online to register. Email that specific person and they'll kind of put you on a wait list to see if they can find you some friends to join as a team.
Can
I'm
can
gonna-
I do that for life? Can you help me find some friends?
I know. It's a service. Like, I don't have any friends, so if you'll find me some, perfect.
That's kind of insulting that we're not your friends.
You have told me
Aw, you're
on
my-
more than one occasion.
I feel like that should be a future library service. We'll bring people together and help them make friends.
So, since we've already broached the subject and we are reaching that time, do you want to tell us what else is going on that people could get involved and evented?
Sure, there's plenty of different types of events. We have Tentacle Threads Crochet and Octopus at the Frenchtown Dixie Branch Library on Saturday, March 1st at 10 a.m. If you're also like crafts, we also have a Dala Horse Makerspace workshop at the Monroe County Community College Makerspace, which is in the Career Technical Center, and that is Tuesday, March 11th at 1:30 p.m. We have a virtual event with an artist presentation. Sayaka Gantz is a artist who makes reclaimed creations using discarded metal and plastic to depict animals, and some of her art is on display at the Toledo Zoo.
Aw.
And so she's going to be talking. It's a virtual event on Zoom, and she'll be talking about some of her art.
Obviously, our biggest event will be the author night. Shelby Van Pelt is coming to town on March 19th. It's a Wednesday night. She'll be presenting at the Meyer Theater, which is inside the Lazy Boy Center on the community college campus. That'll be at 7 p.m. She will be doing a book signing after, so if you own a copy of the book, please bring it to get it signed. We will be selling copies that night, but we will have a limited quantity. Some other programs you might want to consider is we have a kind of passive program all month long. There will be coloring sheets available at all of the MCLS branches throughout the month of March. You can pick up that coloring sheet and then submit it to a branch, and we will be judging the contest at the end of the month to see who had the most creative artwork going on in our octopus coloring sheet.
How many entries are they allowed to submit?
Only one per person.
And is there any age limit or anything like that?
There is no age limit.
Is there a staff limit? I like the
Staff
color.
is always welcome to enter. Staff is not allowed to win prizes.
That's okay. I like coloring.
But you can enter, and I will post your pretty sheet on the Facebook page.
Oh, deal.
A few other interesting things we have going on. We have quite a few movie nights. So we have 3 different family movie nights. The Frenchtown branch will be showing Finding Nemo on March 4th at 4 o'clock. Then we have the Vivian branch showing The Incredible Mr. Limpet Monday, March 10th at 5 p.m. The Blue Bush Library is showing Moana 2, 6 p.m., March 14th. And the Bedford branch will be showing Free Willy March 21st at 6 p.m. So those are all family movie nights. Usually you can bring a pillow, your stuffed animal, lay on the floor and chill and watch a movie.
That just like perfectly summed up my childhood, all of those together.
And we will have one slightly more serious movie showing at the Bedford branch. It's called My Octopus Teacher. It's actually a Netflix documentary, and that'll be Tuesday, March 11th at 6 p.m.
We also have some lectures at Monroe County Community College. On Wednesday, March 12th, we have Rediscovering Our Wild Side Through the Great Lakes Way. This will be a presentation on the Great Lakes Way, which is a system of trails going from Lake Huron to Lake Erie, and they will cross Monroe County. They're being built right now, and so that will be in the atrium at 2 p.m. of the Lazy Boy Center on March 12th. We have also a lecture on Monday, March 24th, Man's Best Friend, Animal Companions in Prehistory, by Dr. Ken Money, who's a professor of anthropology, and I'll be talking about human interaction with companion animals and prehistory. And that is Monday, March 12th at 1 p.m. in the Campbell Academic Center. And then we'll also have an event at the Whitman Center Tuesday, March 18th, and that is Travel the Pacific Northwest. And Jody Russ will be sharing photos and stories about her trips to the Pacific Northwest.
One of our last programs of the month will actually be at the museum. We always partner with the museum, and we have museum members on our committee. That'll be the case of the missing aquatic mammals of the fur trade, Saturday, March 29th, 1 to 4. So they will be talking about the aquatic mammals, which you know we are known fur trade hunters here in Monroe County. That's our history, and kind of what happened to them later.
Yeah, and it's a lot of events, but we have the calendars at all the library branches, so if there was one that you missed and...
Yeah, you probably cannot remember all those dates and times. However, they are all listed on our website. If you just Google One Book, One Community of Monroe, we have a web page hosted by the community college. We have our Facebook page, which also has a link to our calendar, and we'll have daily postings all month. And every branch of the Monroe County Library System will have a full calendar of events and a few individual flyers.
I love how much... You guys put a lot of effort into this to make so many events. It's going to be really cool.
It's going to be really fun.
See if you can go to all of them. If you can go to all of them, put a star on it and come tell us.
That would be very impressive to make it to all. I don't know how anyone would have time to do that. Even we have to divide up who's in charge of which one, because we could never make it to every event.
If you can bring your calendar in with a star next to each one, you'll win a high five.
But no, we do hope to see you at some of our events, especially the author event. You know, it's not often we get a big name author in Monroe County, so please try to make it out. I think she's going to have a fabulous lecture. And last time book signing for the author took like an hour afterwards because so many people are in line. So get in line, get your book signed. I promise it's worth it.
It's going to be a great event, and it will be wonderful to see how the whole community has read the same book and get to hear from the author. And so it's always a great night, the main event.
And obviously, if you have not read the book yet, this is a great time to start so that you've read it before all of the events start. We'd also like to do a quick mention of our companion read. So for groups and people who have already read Remarkably Bright Creatures, obviously it focuses on an octopus. So we picked a companion read of a nonfiction book about an octopus, which is called The Soul of an Octopus by Cy Montgomery. That audiobook is also available with no wait on Hoopla.
I like it. Lots of options.
Yes.
Well, we would certainly like to thank you for joining us today. Please do be sure to check out all of the information provided, One Book, One Community, the various calendars. Stop in at your local library to pick up a copy of those. Do be sure to like and subscribe and hit that ring bell for notifications. I told you I was going to start doing that every time.
I like it.
And thank you for joining us. This has been In the Library with,
Tara!
and our special guests.
Jen Saul.
Liz Hartig.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye!
You didn't say your name.